G'day fellas, welcome to a casted game between Fitzbro, who's spawning in the southwest of the map, playing on the Lakota. If you're unfamiliar with Fitzbro, he is a fellow YouTuber slash Twitch streamer. He loves to play Lakota. He used to play Hausa, but then they became lame, and you know how some people, they don't like to play the lame stuff? He's one of those guys. So as soon as Hausa became lame, he was like, I'm not going to play that civ anymore. And so he's back to Lakota. He's back on the main squeeze. Now, I'm going to leave a link in the description to Fitzbro's YouTube page. I encourage you to go over there, check him out, say good day to him, because he's an American guy. He does a lot of great content, and one of the things that he does is the strategy that we're going to be talking about in today's video, which is one of the funniest strategies I've ever seen in a long time. Now, I haven't watched the full game here. I've only watched the first couple minutes. Fitzbro doing a little bit of a curious thing. So actually sniped the lion and then left the warthog just here to die. I'd be very curious about, you know, just you see the opponent's explorer coming in. We haven't even introduced his opponent just yet, but obviously playing the Hausa, we see that that Emir running around. He spawned in the northeast of the corner. Education is the opponent, and he's doing classic Hausa things. We can see not going for a house in the early game, as you should as the Hausa. Haha, very funny, Drogo. But just going to be doing a 10-10. So most of the Hausa players are doing this very common build order that you see players do, where they just sort of go for this kind of all-in rush, and if it doesn't work, then they just kind of give away the game or just lose the game. But down towards the south, going to be picking up an 80 food treasure. Definitely a nice pickup here. Both of the crocodiles are going to kill each other. He doesn't get the XP for either, so that 30 XP would have taken him up another halfway towards that shipment. So unfortunate timing right there. It's normally in that situation, you do want to try and kill one crocodile before the other. You want to let both of them damage each other for a long time, and then right at the end, you want to snipe one of them off. And then that way you can get the XP for both of them. Now coming in, going to be going for this 60 coin treasure as well, so not a bad treasure there. Fitzbro on the other side, picking up that 100 XP treasure that he took earlier out. So this game, we're going to talk a little bit about this because I genuinely think this tactic, it's not a strategy, it's a tactic, is probably going to be starting to get used a lot more on the ladder once people become aware of it. I'm not going to fill you in exactly on what it is right now. In fact, you know what? You probably already saw it on the thumbnail. It's coming in. You would have seen it in the title. You know what it's going to be. So why am I pretending to hide it? It's Fitzbro killing cows. He is going to slaughter some cows, but he's not going to be slaughtering his own cows. He's going to be slaughtering the cows of his enemy. So let's speed it up. Let's watch exactly how Fitzbro does this. So we're going to speed it up. We'll take a look exactly. So we can see he tries to get this age up in queue. There it is, age up in queue now. So going up with the chief, he's got 15 villagers out right now. And so just, he times it, he moves out. Speaking of which, can we just like, can I just say, like, this map generation is so bad. This map is terrible. There's literally no trees, nothing behind the base. He's got a giant cliff. This is your only wood line? Like, your only wood line is basically within tower distance of your opponent. Like, what is this game? Like, what is this spawn? It's terrible. Front berries, front coin mine. This is absolutely terrible. So, Fitzbro moving 2 villages out across the map and going for the famous snipes. Let's get on board with Education and spot if he actually sees them coming in or not. Villagers, here they come, hunting in. 3 houses going down. 1, 2, 3 houses going to go down. Getting built up by the villager. Explorer in the base. Now, this is so sneaky. Bringing the Explorer in and going to be tanking Town Center fire. This is so smart. Underneath the Town Center, as long as it remains as the closest, you know, unit. Oh, no, don't take it away. First cow going down. Second cow going to go down. Bringing in 2 villagers as well so he can one-shot them. They do take 2 shots to go down. Education realizing, going to be pocketing some villagers in the Town Center. Focusing the first villager down. It's only down on 6 HP. He takes down another cow and going to be able to take down this final cow as well. Fitzbro being so smart and using that Explorer to tank the final shot. So now the villager does go down. House has reached the second age at 4 minutes and has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 7 cows dead. And his rush is in shambles. Oh, damn. Okay, so why is this a good thing? Why is it a bad thing? It's a good thing because he's a Hausa lamer. He got what was coming to him. It's a bad thing because, well, if you're playing Hausa, oh, Fitzbro even coming in the chat with an easy. All right. That's a little bit cheeky. That's a little bit cheeky. But, you know, when you're playing against Hausa, you got to let him know that it was easy, right? You got to let him know. So what was going to happen there was the Hausa player aged up with Songhai, and they were going to be using all of their cattle and investing that into a banquet, and then that banquet was then going to pay for them to be able to use Songhai, and also was going to enable them to send through things like 10 desert warriors and things like the Yoruba allies as well as the Sudanese allies. So there's a lot of different things that you can send in. As a result, Edickerson going and dropping a watchtower over here in the corner of the map, or like really away, you know, definitely not between the bases. But Fitzbro, on the other hand, looking like he's going to be towering up a little bit, dropping down a second war hut in base as well. So I haven't actually seen up until this point. That was the only part I'd actually seen at the beginning of the game. So I don't know how this game goes from here. So I'm not sure whether... I know that he did pretty good in that starting, you know, thing. And honestly, if you were asking me, was that worth it? You know, 2 villages? Like, you lost 2 villages at the very beginning of the game. Was it worth it? Yes. Why? Because you survived. You actually survive. Because that Hausa rush, when it hits, you don't survive. And take a look at this. Look at the macro here from the Hausa player. It really showing, you know, you've got to really be paying attention. You know, I say that, but I guess he's eating his cows, so it's kind of fair that he's doing this. Maybe I shouldn't be, like, you know, giving him a hard time. You do want to eat your cows because your opponent did kill them out. Otherwise, they're just going to sit there and rot on the ground. So you got to kind of do it. But, oh my lord, Fitzbro really going with the terrible T, the terrific T, the terrible T. 4 war huts. I feel like that's probably sufficient, Fitzbro. I think that should be enough. I suspect he's probably going to be playing the turtle game. We'll take a look over at his opponent, Edickerson, and spot what he does. So he's actually got some desert warriors that he's massed up. And you can just see the difference. Now going for that banquet. Look, this is exactly it. You know, a lot of people say that, you know, players are following a build order and they don't know how to adapt. This is exactly that. Okay? It's so hard to adapt from things like this. Dude, look at the name of his deck. How is children, cover your eyes. Cover your eyes. In a game where the word Jav is censored, right? You can't type Jav in the chat, J-A-V, because sometimes you want to say Javelin Rider, but you can't type it. You know why? Because of Japanese adult videos. That's why you can't type it, kids. Jav. But you can type that into your deck name. My fuck you deck. All right, well, I'll be honest with you, Edickerson. Kind of looks like you're getting fucked at the moment, like a Japanese adult video movie. Anyway, 6 minutes 30 now. House is looking like they're in a pretty difficult spot. 5 raiders, 8 desert warriors. Obviously, nowhere near the military that a Hausa player would normally have. So it's like you got to ask yourself, was it worth it? Yeah, it was definitely worth it because Fitzbro survives. Not only does he survive, he thrives. He's over here on 17 villages. We're going to speed things up. We'll take a look at exactly how this unfolds. We'll see whether Edickerson actually goes in and looks to do some sort of timing attack. Raiders coming back to the hometown center and now going to be pushing in. It looks like he's ready. He's made his decision. Coming in at about 7 minutes 45. A pretty late time and actually spots 3 of the war huts, 4 of the war huts now. Town center got villagers in there, and Edickerson saying 21. LOL, I am ROTFL. There's a bit of banter going on right now. There is a bit of banter going on right now. These guys don't like each other. Something tells me they met in the quick search match, and they are fighting over precious ELO pixel points. Something tells me that that is what is happening right now. So let's speed it up. Let's take a look, because Fitzbro definitely... Look at what Fitzbro's doing. Oh, Fitzbro, you are just too sneaky. Is that Caravan? Caravan trade has been researched, so Fitzbro is actually going for triple TP Stagecoach, or at least double TP Stagecoach at the moment. Also training a Bow Rider, but going for improved buildings. This is actually... Is Fitzbro channeling his inner mashed potato right now? 3,200 HP on that war hut, 9,100 hit points on that town center as well. And I tell you what, that puts Edickerson in a difficult spot. He's going to be moving down towards the south, looking for villages. That's a bug. That's a bug. This is a bug that me and Fitzbro found in the very, very first beta, and it's still in the game. And he's even asking lag switching now. He's blaming that on Fitzbro. So it's a bug. When you have your Raiders and your Emir in the same group and you move them, they get this weird thing where they don't move together. It's like they are stopped from moving. So if we speed it up, hold on, let's have a look here. I wanna just speed it up and see if it happens again. So when you like move them all like this, it's weird. I don't know exactly what causes it, but you can't have them in the same group. You see how they're not in the same group right now? So it's not going to happen. It's only if they get into the same group. They do this weird thing where they all stand still. They literally stand still, and you can't move them if they're all grouped together. So I want to see if it happens again, just so I can show you guys that Fitzbro wasn't lag switching. That was an actual bug. It's happened before. Fitzbro going for a little bit of a counter raid now. Very, very nice. 18 villages rather. now for the Hausa player. Compare that to Fitzbro sitting on a very comfortable 24. Going to be looking at age up to the 3rd age as well, Fitzbro is. Still got those double trading posts up in the north, so they're looking pretty decent. Fitzbro having a great time of this game. See, this is the difference, right? Fitzbro is coming to this game with a plan. And his plan, kill cows. And as a consequence of killing cows, Fitzbro is fulfilling his plan. And he's definitely going to be achieving that. Whereas his opponent, Edickerson, unfortunately, he had a plan, but Fitzbro's plan really put a spanner in the works. And that's why it's so important that you learn to adapt, learn to change your build order, or to think outside the box on what you need to do. And that's really how you become a better player. And to be honest, it's one of those things that only really comes with experience as well. So we'll take a look. I'm still watching these units here. It looks like he is actually moving the Emir he's learned. He has realized you have to move the Emir separately. You can see he's moving the Emir separately. Oh, no, I think they're there now, but I'm not sure exactly what the conditions are to meet that bug. But you can see that the Emir, I don't think the Emir is grouped here. Yeah, he's not grouped with them. So now coming down here to the south, let's take a look and spot. So more units now going to be coming out. I think Edickerson's realized about these trading posts up to the north. It's taken them both out. 700 coin going to be coming in, and Fitzbro's now reaching the 3rd age. We'll tune in with him and see exactly what he's up to. Got some rifle riders out here, as well as sending through 5 rifle riders from the home city, and that's exactly what he needs to do. Honestly, at this point, all Fitzbro needs to do is make rifle riders and he wins the game. Raiders plus Desert Warriors, which are musketeer units. It's literally all he needs to do to win the game. Putting up a palace as well. Doesn't really look like Edickerson's thinking about aging up to the next age. Fitzbro looking very comfortable in the 3rd age. You've got a whole bunch of Wakinas out as well. 11 Wakinas out now. No Wakinas in queue at this point. We're going to speed it up just a little bit. 5 rifle riders coming through. Unfortunately, losing that coin mine. It's going to have to head down to the south to pick up the next one. But a couple villages down here providing line of sight. Needs to be careful, though, because there is a potential for a raid to come around the back. No raid happening around the back, though. We'll speed it up. He can actually just see the units in his line of sight. He knows exactly where his opponent's army is and what he's doing. So definitely a lull in the action, I would say, at this point. But now we're about to see the action begin to go down. Moving underneath the buildings, we can see the 3,200 HP, 9,100 HP. So plenty of HP on these bad boys. Wakina rifles looking pretty decent. A great mass for Fitzbro right here. 34 Wakina rifles for Fitzbro. That is a lot of Wakina rifles. Rifle riders getting up close and personal with the raiders. Not the best place for rifle riders to beat Fitzbro. You've got to be careful, Fitzbro. You've got to be careful. Doing a great job of microing back. He's got a couple axe riders at the front. And look at all of the units soak in around that axe rider. Explorer coming out as well on the front line. Needs to be microing back. Needs to be forcing this back. He needs to be getting back out of here. Doesn't have a fire pit down. Doesn't have to, or isn't doing any dancing, but does say in the chat easy, and I love it from Fitzbro. Just really dropping the easy on the Hausa player, showing him who is boss, and cleaning up this army. Take a look at the scores, 7,000 difference right now. Ladies and gentlemen, this is looking like an absolute cleanup right here. Hausa player is going to be going down 32 villages for Fitzbro. Over on Edickerson, only 21, so about 66%. And even dropping in the chat, you think I care? Ooh. Oh, they are getting personal right now. Fitzbro is saying, yes, I do think you care. We're going to speed things up a little bit. He's saying he's laughing out loud right now. Tune in with Fitzbro, see exactly what he's up to. Probably going to be pushing out towards this palace. Coming up towards the north front at the moment. We're going to be pushing this back. We seem very easily going to be taking out these Desert Warriors. They are, of course, heavy infantry, which means they're like a musketeer unit. So they're countered by both of these unit types right here. Also technically countered by the Tukola soldier as well, which counters infantry. So Fitzbro just doing an absolutely great job of countering the opponent's units. And we'll speed it up as he continues to siege down the next building, which is going to be the palace. And record game playback finished. There you guys go. GG gets called. Fitzbro declared the victor. I hope you guys have enjoyed this one over on YouTube. If you have, make sure you check that link in the description. It's over to Fitzbro's channel. Make sure you go leave a like. I know that there was a bit of banter in this game, but just remember, guys, at the end of the day, lamer's gonna lame, flamer's gonna flame. I hope you've enjoyed this one, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.